Anthony, no old hand at it at this stage. You've been round the blocks. You've done all the jobs in the club now. So now leading the team to a reserve final.
Yeah, well, we were looking for somebody at the start of this year to help out with the reserves, so I said I'd help out. So then I was asked to take on the job as manager, so I said I would for this year. We're 100 years in existence this year, so I felt it was an important year maybe to try and start and work towards the next century and bring on more players at senior level and try and bring the club back up again to the heights we were in the past.
Because at senior level, like a lot of clubs in the west of the county and a lot of traditional clubs, you have fallen a bit off the pace at senior level.
Yeah, we possibly have taken an eye off the ball to underage there for a number of years, and then if you don't have players coming through from underage, now there's a huge amount of work going on in the club at the moment at underage level and indeed in ladies level as well. So a lot of former players are involved working with teams and working with players, and I think you need that, and you need players coming through every year if you want to have a relatively good senior team. You need young players coming through, and that brings on the older players, then bring on the younger players.
Yeah, and of course then getting your own in the championship and getting to a final, it's important for a club like Ardara, because it shows that something's going right, someone's doing something right. It can add a bit of confidence throughout the whole club, I'm sure.
Yes, it will. I mean, there are a lot of hard-working people in the club, from the club officials and all the coaches in the club. They're working from under sixes right the way up. And I suppose we were lucky enough to get to the final this year, and it's testimony to all those people and all the good work that they're doing that bring all these players on. And I suppose I'm lucky enough to be working with them, and we've worked very closely with the senior team this year. Damien Devaney was taking all the training sessions, and I worked closely with him, and he is a big input into this team as well. And they're playing at a high level and training at a high level all summer, and that just brings players on. It brings the younger players on, and then I suppose we're lucky enough to have a few older, more experienced players, and they're helping the young fellas and bring them on.
Yeah, you mentioned the old experienced players. I suppose they don't come more experienced than Brendan Boyle and Peter McHugh.
Yeah, both of those are experienced players, and they've been around for a long time and they played at a high level, both of them, both Brendan and Peter. And we have a few other players too. We have Stephen Boyle, and we have Paddy Galler and a few other stalwarts as well who've been there for a long number of years. So it's good to see them helping out the younger players and leading by example at training sessions and showing the younger players what they have to do if they want to be successful.
And you're going to the final on an unbeaten run, is that right?
Yeah, we've won all our championship matches. We won our 4 group matches relatively easily. Well, we had a tough enough match against Ballyshannon, our ARU Ballyshannon. We only won that one by a point, and then we won the quarter final against St Knowles relatively easily, and we struggled against McCool's in the semi-final, only winning in the last minute. We conceded 3 goals in that game, and it's very hard to win championship games if you're going to be conceding 3 goals. They had 6 scores and we had 13, but we were lucky enough to win by a point and get into the final.
Yeah, well, that was a big result because McCool's were seen as probably the favourite for that game, and possibly they'll be favourite for the outright championship.
Yeah, well, McCool's they're doing a lot of work as well, and they have a 3rd team as well. I think they won the C Championship, and I think so, if you want to have a successful senior team now at the present day, you need to have 2 and maybe 3 teams, and that gives everybody games and brings on all the young players. And McCool's have done that, and we've done that this year as well, and we're trying to bring on more young players. And if you want to have a successful senior team, then you need to be bringing on your young players and giving them a taste of success at a high level.
And who are the young players to look out for on Sunday?
Well, Shane Mooney is coming to the team and he's done very well. Oisin O'Donnell is playing well there, centre half back. John McConnell's son, is playing at wing half forward, so he's also done very well. Johnny Sweeney, who's a relatively young player, has come on and done well for us. And then we have a few among the substitutes as well. CJ Lafferty is a young fella coming in, and he was unlucky this year in a way. He got injured earlier in the year playing for the 3rd team, and he's only just back. Charlie Kennedy is another young player who's come in and who got injured earlier too, but who's back again now and who's in the and ready for a starting place for the final.
Yeah. St Eunan's always strong as reserve, aren't they?
Eunan's are always a very strong team. I mean, I have never played an easy St Eunan's team. They're always strong, whether it be senior or whether it be reserve or underage. They seem to always have a very strong team, and they're always very difficult to beat in the final. But that makes it all the more challenging.
Yeah, and tell me, have you got everybody?
We unfortunately lost our midfielder in the semi-final. He broke his collarbone, Zach Gallagher, so he's definitely out. And we have another one of our wing backs is also injured, and our other midfielder is doubtful as well. Brian White is also doubtful. So we have three of our first team possibility that they may not be starting. Two of them possibly won't be starting.
Yeah.
So we've built up a panel of players. So hopefully the players that take those players' places will do a job for some.
Which is the most important thing, bringing the players through and getting them the experience of getting to a final or winning it.
I think both is important. I think it's important to get them into the team and bringing them through. But a success breeds success, and I think our club can do with a bit of success at the moment. We're under 12 final this year, and we were beaten. But we do need some success. So it's nice to get the final. But it would be nice to win on Sunday.